Joining us now is Jessica Tapia, a California teacher who allegedly was fired by Jurupa Valley Unified School District for not complying with deceptive school policy. She's joined by her attorney, Brad Dacus, from Pacific Justice Institute. We want to welcome both of you. Jessica, I'll start with you. You lost your job because you would not practice a school policy to deceive parents. Tell us what the school district wanted you to do.
Correct. So there were three things in the end that they were asking me to comply with that I was just unwilling. The first one was to call students by their preferred gender or pronoun. The second one was to withhold that information from their parents if I were to ever find out of a student's new preference. And I wanted to be very clear with them, and I did. I clarified. I said, "Are you asking me to lie to parents about this?" And they said, yes, it's for the student's privacy. And then the third one was I had to allow transgender students into the locker room. I'm a PE teacher, so I oversee the female locker room. And again, I clarified, are we talking about biological males that I may have to let into the locker room? And they said, yes, if they are appearing like or claim that they are, now female, you would need to let them in. It would be discrimination if you don't.
Now, you say it came down to the realization that you could not be a Christian and a teacher. And to lie to parents about the secret gender changes for their children, were you surprised to have to make that decision?
Totally blindsided by this. I went to a Christian college for nearly 8 years to become a teacher and get my master's in education. And I never could have imagined being 6 years into teaching and being in this position where suddenly the directives of my job were no longer lining up with my faith that I have been raised in and grown up in and, still practice today and will forever for the rest of my life and see those things come head to head and have to make a decision.
I want to bring in your attorney, Brad Dacus. Brad, is it legal to fire an educator for refusing to hide important facts and information about a child from their parents?
No, it's not legal. She's being fired without cause. She had a perfect spotless record as a teacher. So she wasn't fired for anything she did on the job. She was fired for her beliefs. That's why she was fired. And I just want to make it really clear that, she's not alone. We have other cases similar to this. In fact, we have, dozens and over hundreds actually of cases across the country, coast to coast, with our offices coast to coast, defending people of faith being fired because of their beliefs, not because of anything they did on the job. And I encourage people to contact us if they need assistance. Also, I'd like us not to forget the parents and that part of the story. Parents out there are terrified, as your earlier story talked about. They're terrified about teachers and others pushing material on their children that they don't feel is appropriate. So I want to encourage parents to contact us. If they have anything like that happening anywhere in the country, they should contact us. We also have opt-out forms we've customized for each of the 50 states that it empowers parents with the rights pursuant to their state, and they can get that on our website for free at pji.org. But this is not an isolated incident. People understand this is a nationwide problem that we need to deal with.
It is nationwide. This is Greg Stevens. I want to go back to Jessica for just a moment here. Jessica, what has been the response of other parents in your school and fellow educators at the stance that you've taken for your students and your faith?
I haven't heard much from parents. I'm not sure they would even really know how to contact me. I have had probably one or two reach out to me via social media and tell me they're absolutely disgusted that I was, fired for my religious beliefs. But in terms of teachers, hundreds have been coming to me. I've been a little bit overwhelmed, but in the best way, to just hear so many stories similar to mine, hear so many teachers say they're feeling emboldened, seeing me take this step out in faith. And I'm just excited to see what God does with this. I feel that together, if we continue to rise and stand firm in our faith, he can use us to bring change that's necessary for our country.
I'm going to speak for millions that are watching us right now and say thank you. Thank you for taking that stand and defending our children when the parents put the trust into teachers like you to do so. Now, Brad, if someone's watching is facing a matter of religious freedom, where can they learn more again about your efforts and how can they contact you?
Yeah, it's simple. They should just go to pji.org, P for Pacific, J for Justice, I for Institute.org, pji.org. We do all our work without charge. They can get our newsletter, and we have 28 offices in 22 states, coast to coast. So we do all our work without charge. We're here to serve. We're here to help.
Thank you so much for what both of you are doing and for your story today. Thanks for being with us on Victory News.